House impeachment proceedings against the governor are over for now, but there may have been some fallout and retaliation, particularly at the Department of Public Safety. At least 2 police officers who attempted to assist the Office of the Public Auditor in serving a criminal summons to then Attorney General Ed Buckingham have in the last couple of weeks been transferred to other sections within DPS. They include Officer Eric David, the brother of OPA investigator Juanette Atzilig David, and Officer Peter Camacho. Officer David was the DPS logistics supervisor at the time, who requested that police units be sent to the Aquarius Hotel on the night of August 3rd to assist OPA. As of about October 14, Officer David has been transferred to patrol. Officer Peter Camacho, meanwhile, was one of 3 who responded to David's request for assistance on August 3rd. Camacho was also the only one of the 3 officers who did not later participate in escorting Buckingham to the airport, nor did he invoke his Fifth Amendment rights or right to an attorney during his testimony before the impeachment panel earlier this month. Camacho answered all of the lawmakers' questions directly and frankly, and said that he had been in the process of helping OPA when his field supervisor called to tell him to back off.
Okay, so you were instructed not to assist OPA investigators in the serving of the penal summons?
Yes.
Would you know where that instruction was coming from? Was it coming directly from your field supervisor or from someone else?
When I got the instructions, I asked him why, and he said just back off because it's coming from 02, which is Ambrosio.
As of this week, Officer Camacho has been transferred from patrol to the Garapan-Coban. Sources within DPS allege that Deputy Commissioner Ambrosio Ogumoro had earlier called a command staff meeting and threatened to terminate officers who cooperated with the House impeachment panel. Impeachment Chairman Joseph De Leon Guerrero raised the issue during the hearing on October 15.
Are you aware of such a meeting?
Mr. Chairman, I decline to answer to that question.
Mr. Ogumoro, have you threatened any law enforcement officers for cooperating with this body?
Mr. Chairman, Fifth Amendment.
Meanwhile, DPS has rehired a former officer convicted of theft who is still on probation. In March 2010, a jury found DPS firefighter Combiniano Tysican guilty of 1 count of theft by unlawful taking and 1 count of possession or removal of government property. The stolen property in that case was a boat engine that belonged to the Northern Ireland's mayor's office. Judge David Wiseman sentenced Tysican to 6 months in prison, all suspended but the 3 days he'd already served, and then placed him on 3 years of supervised probation. That probation does not expire until June 20th, 2013. Tysican's conditions of probation included performing 200 hours of community service, paying a fine of $500, and not being employed by or entering into any contract with the CNMI government while on probation. Tysican was hired back with DPS, however, on September 17, 2012, with about 9 months remaining on his probation term. On or around October 5th, the Public Defender's Office asked to lift Tysican's probation restriction on government employment, and the Attorney General's Office agreed. Tysican is once again a firefighter with DPS. Insiders say he does not actually report to the fire division, however, but directly to Acting Commissioner Aniceto Ogumoro at DPS Central, where he's assigned to logistics.